welcome to my channel, Canning with Kerstin. Today we are going to be canning chicken, and I'm canning it directly from the Ball Blue Book. I've cubed the chicken, I've removed the fat, and I've got my jars in the canner at the moment. They're completely heated, ready to go. The lids and the rings are ready to go. I've got my chicken stock all ready. So let's get started. I am doing a raw pack. You can actually do it cooked chicken, but I'm doing a raw pack chicken. Last time I did it cooked and it was pretty good, but I just figured I'd try something a little different this time. So you're gonna take your hot jar, you're gonna fill it with chicken. And in this bowl I've got almost 10 pounds of chicken, so it's not going to make much. I usually would use pint jars, but I can't find any. So apparently I've used them all. I cut my chicken into about 1-inch pieces, fill in the jar. To about 1-inch headspace. And because it is raw chicken, I like to wash my hands quite a bit during the process. So now that I've got chicken in this jar, I'm going to fill it with the chicken stock. And some of you, may be wondering what you would use cubed chicken for. You can use it in practically any dish that you make that calls for chicken. We like to use it for like chicken fajitas, or we make a chicken casserole. Just simple little things. It comes in handy and you always have it on hand. I just want to get all the jars filled with the chicken, and then I can just add in the chicken stock. I may get 5 quarts out of 10 pounds of chicken. Well, just under 10 pounds. Those white, boneless, skinless chicken breast. Okay, now that we've done that, now we're going to continue filling these jars. I need a teaspoon of salt in each quart jar. If it was a pint, it'd be a half a teaspoon. And what I'm using is Mrs. Page's pickling and canning salt. Canning salt is actually what's recommended when you're canning. And what I'm doing right now is I'm actually just trying to get the liquid all the way down to the bottom. But while I'm doing that, I am debubbling. I know the last episode, or the first episode, you guys really couldn't see the whole debubbling process because it was spaghetti sauce for one. It's kind of hard to see the debubbling aspect of it, but I'll be able to show that to you here so you can see what I mean by bubbles, which I'm sure you probably already know, but for new canners you may not. So what's happening is when I pour the liquid in, it's like getting caught way up here. So I'm just, see all those bubbles releasing? And you can see over here, the space, this is the better side, the space, the liquid has not gotten down into that yet. So see, the liquid is actually moving down, filling up all the empty space. And while I'm at it, I'm debubbling it. And if you see down here, you can see like two little bubbles. And over here and here. That's what we need to get rid of to prevent botulism in the food and the food going rancid. And what I like about using the beef stock is the fact that it's not clear. The Ball Blue Book says that you can use either water or beef stock or chicken stock. So I prefer the chicken stock because I can actually see the bubbles. And it gives the food a better flavor in the long run. Okay, just a little bit more liquid. Next thing is to wipe all the rims off. This will help with a good seal. So normally I use everything ball. I've decided to try some new rings or some new lids. They're made by 4 Jars. And this is the second time I'm using them. They are amazing. I have now had a single ring or single jar not seal, which I've had with the ball lids. And these are a little bit cheaper, but they're also made in the US, where everything ball is made in China. Okay, now I'm just gonna pop them into a canner. once the timer went off, we shut the stove off, let it come down, let the pressure gauge come back down to 0, and then we took the jiggler off. And now that they've been in there long enough, I'm going to take them out. It does look like I had a little bit of siphoning. So what I ended up doing is I ended up putting in 2 jars of the chicken stock instead of just tossing it out. So there's one of the jars. Here's your processed chicken. Or not processed, canned chicken. Looks pretty good. And like I mentioned before, always make sure you leave a space between the jars. That way they can cool evenly. And then in the morning, I'll check them to make sure that they've all sealed. By the way it looks is that they did while they were in the canner, because I'm not seeing the button up top sticking out. And then in about 24 hours, I'll wash them up and get them labeled and put them in storage. That's really all there is to canning the chicken. It's, like I said, it's pretty simple. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the video in the comment section. If you have suggestions for other recipes, I'd be more than happy to look at that and possibly do another video on something you guys have suggested. And Matthew, thank you again for asking about doing the canned chicken. So this one's for you.